Here we are, live. Yeah, we are live. It is Mind Over Matter. It's Thursday, September 25th. For those of you who don't know, today is my good friend and business partner, Paul Birdsall's birthday. Everybody cheer on Paul Birdsall. Yay, happy birthday, Paul. Anyway, I do believe I mentioned something about revealing the number one tool that your business needs. You're going to have to be patient. I will reveal it, but we're going to take some time. I'm going to sort of lead up into it. How's everybody doing out there? I think they're doing fantastic. Feel free to post some questions, or if you have any along the way, don't wait, because there is a little bit of a delay sometimes in the chat box. So please don't hesitate to fire off so that I can take a look at them at some point. So what is the most important tool that we have, or that we need, in order to function effectively in our business? I think you'd be surprised, actually, in what I found out this week in the research that I did. Is I ended up posing the question to myself a few times about specifically how we would determine the best tool, right? And one of the things that came up with was was trying to determine what your level of success should be. And when I say should be, I mean it really is based on this tool. Because how much time that you've invested into this tool and how much time you've invested in using it is going to be the sort of barometer, if you will, to how much success you're really going to have. Now, it's not to say that you can't have success, and probably quite a bit of it, without using this tool. However, sustained success, long-term success, residual success, that's the type of success I'm referring to, as a success that lasts and takes you through into retirement, whatever that is. But the most important tool in your business is going to be what I'm talking about today. It's the most important tool in determining your success. It's the most important tool you must invest the most amount of time in. And now, granted, I'm sure there's going to be a collection of you that think that I'm crazy. I'm okay with that. And there's going to be a collection of you that they'll take this information, they'll hear it, but they'll sort of choose to ignore it. Because using this tool, or the tool that I'm referring to, it's not easy. It's not easy to use. It's not easy to follow through on. Investing time using this tool is challenging. However, again, I repeat, the most critical component to your success. So it's up to you whether you want to spend some time invested in this tool. You don't even necessarily need to spend any money to invest in this tool. Not necessarily. There are many ways to invest in this tool without spending a dime. You can accelerate the process, not unlike advertising, by using paid methods. But let's just say that because this tool, I made some notes here because I found this topic rather fascinating. I wrote a couple of pages of my on my yellow legal pad. Yes, I use a yellow legal pad. I need to go buy more of these, by the way. Somebody remind me. No, because this tool is the only thing holding you back from greatness and from achieving all of the dreams you possibly could ever have. It is this tool that determines success or failure. I know I said earlier that you could have success without utilizing this tool. And I guess it all depends on what you define as success. I guess we'll have to back that up and we'll have to go that route. But I mean, if making a couple $100s a month and having a permanent part-time job is success, then you don't even need this tool. What I'm talking about when I say determine success or failure, I'm thinking more along the lines of long-term residual income that pays you beyond your, actual life on this planet. Meaning you can will money away. You can the money that you're generating will continue to come even after you pass, so that you can will that income to your children, grandchildren, etc. See, to me, people talk a lot about taking care of their family and having success, and I don't disagree with that. I think it's fantastic, but that's just a short-term goal. Because I mean, let's think about how long we live on this planet. It's a short-term goal. Long-term would be generations and generations after you're gone, right? So the amount of time and energy invested, in other words, the investment you make, you have to put into, oops, sorry, I'm reading my notes wrong here. The amount of time and energy you have to put into this tool and what this tool produces is the most critical component you are missing. Let's see if I can reword that so it makes a little more sense, because I make notes. It's pretty words are missing and stuff. The most critical component you're missing in your current goal, in your current mission to achieve success or have success, is going to be directly connected to, again, that is if your goals are lofty. You're trying to replace an income, you're trying to bring home a spouse, if it's something like that, then this is the most critical component that's missing in your toolbox. And the amount of time and energy you put into developing this tool. Let's understand this. The tool that I'm referring to is an undeveloped gem. It starts, depending on how long it takes before you add it to your toolbox. Like, for instance, the likelihood, the older you are, the more unrefined this gem is. Because after years, this tool becomes more difficult to polish as the years go by. So what tool am I referring to? Here we are, 10 minutes in. I guess I started about 5 minutes late. Anybody want to know what the tool is? Anyone? I see a few of you are interested. Anybody you want to take a guess at what the tool might be? Anyone? Nobody wants to take a chance at guessing this, eh? That's fair. That's fair. It actually plays into the exact concept that I'm referring to about how difficult this tool could be if time hasn't been invested in properly. Because a lot of confidence comes from honing the product of this tool. Confident to make mistakes. That's probably the most important confidence you can achieve. Level of confidence, I should say. The most important level of confidence you can achieve is the willingness and confidence to go out and make a major, huge mistake, or even a little one. It seems that most people are afraid to make the little mistakes, but even make any kind of mistake. Just confidence to just go out and screw something up. because the confidence to go out and screw something up gives you the ability to grow, gives you the ability to achieve more, and gives you the ability to find the path. You know, Albert Einstein, I've mentioned this before. Is it no Albert Einstein? Yeah, light bulb guy. 2,000 times he tried to create a light bulb. 2,000 mistakes. And when people asked him about whether or not it was, you know, he had, you know, how it was, or you know, how did he manage to keep going? And he said, well, he didn't really make any mistakes. He just found 2,000 reasons, or 2,000 ways to not create the light bulb. Right? It's just a mental mindset. How do you view what it is you're going on? The tool is, we've had one guest actually, and I applaud you for taking the leap out for making a guess. The guess was the Academy of Online Success. Not a terribly bad answer. It's a very good answer. Not the answer I'm looking for, but a very good answer, because the Academy of Online Success is a very, very, very important tool. But the Academy of Online Success, actually part of the tool that I'm referring to, there are components of the Academy of Online Success that can help you develop this tool. How's that? So the Academy of Online Success is a big part, can be a big part of developing the product of this tool. The tool I'm referring to is quite simply your mirror. And you're all sitting there thinking, what the heck is this guy talking about? The mirror. I sat here for 10 minutes listening to him drone on, for the answer to be a mirror? That's right, the mirror. This thing right here. You are the most critical component in this equation. More specifically, your mindset. But the fact that when you look in a mirror, most mirrors, especially bathroom mirrors or standard mirrors, what are we looking at? It's a headshot, right? So you got yourself a headshot, and the headshot is pointing directly at the source of all your problems and the source of all of your potential. That's the key. Potential. Right here. Mindset. For all the image for the image that you see in the mirror is all you need to succeed. Period. I had a very interesting conversation with someone the other day who was not a member of the Global Online Franchise. Not yet, anyway. Perhaps he was after I spoke to him. But the reason why we ended up on the phone, because normally I won't talk to somebody on the phone until they've at least signed up for the Global Online Franchise. If you're not willing to make a $20 investment in your future, then I don't know. It sounds a little bit sounds ridiculous, but I don't really have time to talk to you. And it's not because I have an ego or I'm arrogant or any of those things. It's just because I have a lot of people that need my help, and investing my time in those that can't invest in themselves. Here we are right back talking about the mirror. See how it circles back real easy? So we had a very interesting conversation, and the reason why I ended up on the phone with this gentleman was because the conversation started to revolve around a sponsor. So what he was doing was he connected with me on Skype, and what he was doing is he was fishing to try and find out if I would be his sponsor. So I have no idea how he found the Global Online Franchise or any of the others, but he did find my videos. So kudos to video marketing, and that is how he found my Skype information. So I'm not even sure if he's or if the only way he's seen Global Online Franchise is through the links in my video description. So that could be. So he very well could be a prospect of mine. It doesn't matter. The point being is he was trying to interview me as a sponsor. So the discussion went about how, your sponsor is actually an irrelevant component to your success. And he was exactly 180 opposite of a mindset that the sponsor is the the bread and butter, the nuts and bolts, the entire delimiting factor that is, if you don't have a good sponsor, you can't succeed. And I was like, what? I'm like, dude, that's not true. I mean, yes, of course, if you have a perfect sponsor, then life can be easier because your sponsor will keep you on track. Your sponsor will, be responsible. Key how that works together. Will be responsible for making sure that you're on track. With the global online franchise, however, there's almost absolutely no need for a sponsor. Period. 2 reasons. Reason number 1, because the step-by-step nature of global online franchise does not require someone to show you how to do anything. Provided you just read what's there, execute the actions that we're being told to do, you'll be set up and ready to make money in less than 24 hours and probably have money in the bank by the end of the week. Number 2, there's a massive Facebook group that has probably been one of the most effective Facebook groups I've ever been a part of. I've been a part of a lot of Facebook groups. I'm a member of like 100, and some just for advertising, but the ones that I've been a part of that were for group support and for either network marketing companies that I've been a part of, or online companies I've been a part of, or any kind of community that's trying to leverage their time. This has probably been the only one that's actually been effective. It seems crazy, but anyway, so those are the 2 reasons why. I mean, overall, sponsors irrelevant, but in global online franchise, even more. And as David brought up, is the Academy of Online Success. It's same thing. There's so much step-by-step, paint-by-number, copy and paste flow to the Academy of Online Success. The sponsor side of things is slightly irrelevant. Now, don't get me wrong. Please don't get me wrong. Don't leave this thinking, oh, well, I don't have to be a good sponsor and all my guys will be millionaires. I'm telling you right now, if you don't take care of your people, then there's going to be a certain number of them that will just leave, and they could have been your next millionaire. If you take your responsibility as a sponsor seriously, you take care of the people that come to your business and join through your links. The reason why I said it doesn't matter is because there's a mindset block that this person I was talking to already had before he came to me. And that was, unless he found a perfect sponsor, he couldn't have success. That I just couldn't accept. I'm like, don't come here and hang your success on my shoulders so that you can blame me when it doesn't work, because it's up to you. See, as a responsible sponsor, you will take responsibility to ensure that your prospects and leads are on track. But you can't get them to do the work. You can't make them do the work, I should say. You can say, here's what I need you to do today, Monday. Go do all these things. Come Tuesday, you're like, okay, so you got all the stuff done from Monday list? They'll be like, well, I only got like 1 thing done. And I'll be like, all right, well, just keep working on the list that I gave you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And then you talk to them tomorrow, and they maybe only got 1 more done. And then before you know it, a week's gone, they haven't even finished the stuff that you gave them on Monday. What's a sponsor to do? Or you can do the other guy where you give him the list for Monday and he finishes the list, and then he goes on and reads about 4 or 5 web pages in the global online franchise, goes flying way ahead. When you call him on Tuesday, he's already made $100. And you're like, oh, well, that's awesome. So should we just scale this up? He's like, yeah, how do I scale it up? And you go, okay, well, let's move on to here. And boom, scale him up, and before you know it, he's making thousands of dollars a month, right? But it wasn't the sponsor that made the difference between guy or girl number 1 on Monday, who did nothing for the whole week, and guy number 2 who went ahead of the information that was given to them and actually started making some money. I don't know. Just, it's pretty simple. So let me ask you this. If the tool is a mirror, which represents yourself, And if the image you see in the mirror is the only thing you need to achieve all the success that you ever want, let me ask you this question. How much time do you spend working on you? How much time do you spend working on the reflection you see in the mirror? How much time? Every day. How much time on a daily basis do you spend working on you? Write that question down. Ask yourself that question. Write it down. How much time do you spend working on you every single day? We live in a world where negative influences are everywhere. You cannot avoid them. It's not possible. Unless you're, board yourself up in your house and never leave. I mean, you so much as talk to your mom and you're going to be getting some negative influences. It just happens. They watch the news. They watch this. They watch that. They're all talking, and you're bombarded. If you happen to work in an office environment and you're doing this part-time, bombarded. So what are you doing every day to train yourself to evade all of that negative influence, to protect your mindset so that it doesn't get broken down? How many books have you read in the last 90 days? How many books have you read in the last year? Again, write these questions down. When we're done with this, I want you to answer them. And if you don't like the answers, then do something about it. Because you're not a tree. So if you don't like where you are, you can just get up and move. Right? You're not a tree. You're not rooted into the ground so that you can't make any changes. Wherever a tree's growing is where it's growing. That's it. You can't just get up and say, yeah, I don't like this spot. I don't get enough sun. I'm going to go over there. Nope. It's got to figure out how to survive in the spot it's growing. That's it. We don't have that. We don't have that plight. We don't like where we are. We don't like what we're doing, and we don't like how things are going. We can get up and go get something done. I'm going to go stand over there because the sun shines better. I'm going to go buy that book and I'm going to read it. Even if my neighbor says I'm crazy. Oh, you're doing that self-help stuff? Oh, you're trying to make yourself better? As a matter of fact, yes, I am. A better version of who you already are is really what you're looking for. Nobody's trying to change anybody. Just release the potential. It's already there. Next question. In the last year, what new skills have you acquired? Sorry. In the last year, what new skills or knowledge have you acquired? In the last year, what new skills or knowledge have you acquired? That's the other question. In the last year, what new skills or knowledge have you acquired? If you think you're going to find success, high levels of success, I'll add that in there, without learning new skills or acquiring new knowledge, you, my friend, are the person looking for the easy button. And I am here to let you know that no such thing. However, I will follow that up with, we can create our own easy buttons. Think about that for a second. You can create your own easy button. Well, what do you mean by that, Jamie? Well, let me tell you. What I mean is, pardon me. What I mean is, by acquiring new knowledge, developing new skills, you actually create an easy button in that category. By acquiring new skills, acquiring new knowledge, developing new skills, you actually create an easy button in that category. What? Yeah, I know. I said what like 3 times. It's amazing. Think about this. I mean, I referenced this last week. I'm pretty sure it was last week when I talked about the baby and when you first try something new, you suck at it. And I promise that whatever it is that you're trying new, you're going to suck at it. Unless you're one of those people that we all hate that just tries anything new and they're like rock stars right out of the gate. I don't really hate you. It's just a figure of speech. When you first start to learn to walk as a baby, you stumble, you fall, you land on your face, you do whatever, blah, blah, blah. Before you know it, you don't just get up one day and say, I'm going to walk a mile. No, you get up and hope you can make it from the ottoman to the couch. So suddenly you're ripping around the house. Pardon me. Before you know it, you can walk all over the world. But you get to a certain point where, and I mean, this is still as a child, you get to a certain point where walking is involuntary. And which a lot of us take for granted, by the way, because there's many people in the world who cannot walk. Be grateful for the fact that you can actually just put your feet on the ground, move them one in front of the other, and be mobile. Grateful. It's an involuntary action. You wake up in the morning, you swing your legs off the side of the bed, you plant your feet on the ground, you launch yourself upright, and then you just start walking. That's an easy button. Created by repetition. You can create an easy button in every avenue of your life by creating repetition. John C. Maxwell was at one was probably asked multiple times, but one of his presentations I was there live for, he referred to how people ask him how he got to be so good at being a professional speaker. So good and so relaxed. If you've ever watched any of his presentations or seen him live, he literally just sitting back, relaxed, arm on a table like this, and he's got his little, sucking on his lozenges or whatever to keep his mouth from getting dry, and he's got his little note card, and he's just taking little notes, and he's generally smiling and laughing and happy, and so articulate and keeps everything so simple that it's so easy to follow. His response was quite simple. I've done this 12,000 times. He goes, if I'm not good at it now, when will I be? It's a fair question. If you do something 12,000 times, consider that the average person steps about 8,000 to 9,000 times a day if they're just on an average pace and not trying to get to the 10 or 12,000 mark. Maybe the average North American today is probably around 6,000, quite frankly, but either way, that's every day now as an adult. So if you think about when you're a child, 12,000 steps was pretty quick. So my guess is that somewhere around the 8 to 10,000 time mark is when you start to get really good at what you're doing, right? So I suggest that you just keep going, and you're going to get better and better and better, and you're creating that easy button. So I'll go back to that last question. In the last year, what new skills or knowledge have you acquired? Ask yourself the question. Write it down. Ask yourself the question, because if you're not a lifelong learner, you're gonna have some struggles. I'm just gonna lay it out there. You're gonna have some struggles if you're not willing to learn. Yeah, I'll go back to being a tree. The one thing we do have in common with the tree is if you're not living, you're dying. And by living, I mean constantly learning, constantly adding, constantly exploring, constantly just being amazed in wonder of the world around you, right? Just constantly learning. So once you've asked yourself these questions, how much time have you spent on working on you every day? How many books have you read in the last 90 days, last year? In the last year, how many new skills or knowledge have you acquired? Consider this. Success does not require you to look out the window. It only requires you to look in the mirror. The person you need is looking right back at you. You know, that refers back to the gentleman I spoke to the other day about looking for the perfect sponsor. The only person you need is looking right back at you when the most powerful tool you have in your arsenal is a mirror. I highly recommend everybody, and I'm going to actually probably bring one in my office because I think it's a good idea. On the wall in your office, have a mirror. And every time you get yourself into a position where you think, well, this person's not helping me, if I don't get any help, I don't have any support, just grab the mirror, put it right in front of you, and just, the only person you need is looking right back at you in that mirror. And if you're willing to make a commitment to yourself, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Unlimited. Like I put in my Facebook post today, unlimited success if you're willing to make a commitment to yourself. Unlimited. So when you say unlimited, Jamie, do you mean like, $5,000 a month? I'm saying unlimited, meaning 10, 15, 20, 30, 6 figures a month. What are you looking for? What do you want? What are your goals? How much do you need? How much do you want? It's okay to want more. For all you people who grew up in the world, sorry about my nose, it's just crazy itchy, guys. I'm sorry I keep rubbing it. But for all you other people that grew up in the world where money is the root of all evil, I am one of them, by the way. I grew up in that world where having money was a bad thing. People who lived in big houses were just all jerks. And the only topic of conversation that would ever come up when you drove by the wonderful homes of the city you live in would have been, can you imagine how much it costs to heat that place? Really? That's the question you ask when you drive down the street of a beautiful, like a long street in your city where there's beautiful homes, 3-story, 2-story, 2,000 square feet plus, just huge, wonderful looking homes. How much does it cost to heat the place? That's just such a weird question. But if you live in that world, or you came from that world, understand this: money is not the root of all evil. Money merely serves as an amplifier for who you already are. If you're a person who gives, who is philanthropic, who loves to take care of others, who is a service-driven person, and is in constantly looking for ways to be a servant-driven leader, money will amplify that. And unfortunately, if you're an awful person and you like to take advantage of people, money will also amplify that. But the takeaway here, guys, is very simple. Your mirror is your most powerful tool because it shows you where you need to be investing the maximum amount of time. If you work twice as hard on yourself as you do on your business is going to explode. Twice as hard on yourself as you do in your business. If you're spending 2 hours a day on your business, you need to find 4 hours for yourself. Now, I know you're all thinking, holy crap, I don't have 6 hours to put in. I get it. Can we start with a half-hour reading a day? Can we start with an hour, half an hour in the morning, half an hour at night? Audio is a real easy way to chew up a 30, 45 minute hour window. And I watched some amazing audios yesterday. Yesterday was a day where I spent some time, either Tuesdays or Wednesdays every week. I spend a little bit of time watching audios and videos to try and just get my headspace just right, because coming into Thursday, I got to do this show and I want to make sure I'm providing the best possible content I can. So I do that not only for me, but for you guys, right? So, how much time do you spend working on yourself every day? It's really the question that you need to finish this off with. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to drop them in here. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up real quick. Success does not require you to look out the window. It only requires you to look in the mirror. how much time do you spend working on yourself every day? I'm Jamie Cinq-Mars, and I promise you, if you pardon me, if you're willing to make an investment in yourself, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit, folks. Take care now. Bye.